gives you all the options, Russian. You can tell biphasic, burst. But you can do the same thing with symmetrical biphasic. You can use asymmetrical biphasic. Okay, so we're going to try Russian, and then we're going to switch it to the others and see if she feels the difference. Okay. So I hit Russian. I hit edit. Leave the duty cycle alone. I'm going to do a shorter cycle time only so I can see it. Okay, but typically I would give you the cycle time that you would need. You want the 50 bursts per second, right? That's between that 20 to 50 cycles per second that the body responds to, that the muscle contracts to. So this is in bursts, okay?
10 seconds on,
10 seconds off, 10. Usually I would start at 10:50 if I had someone that was injured. Okay. So I'm going to start to turn it up. You tell me first when you're starting to feel it. Of course, I would not use this positioning. So don't use this positioning on a practical. Feeling it? So now what I want to do is turn it up till we get a little bit of a muscle contraction. Okay, so I want you to take as much as you can tolerate, comfortably. Okay, to get that good.
Right on.
You got that.
See it? There's tetany, right?
Comfortably for how long do I have to hold?
10 seconds. So now I have to hit start. If I don't hit start, she's going to continually stay on. So please don't do that. Yeah, she's going to get some muscle soreness. She won't be happy.
Do you have to turn it off to turn it up?
No, I can just when it's on. So I don't even see it anymore.
That's because it's 10 seconds
Oh,
off.
okay.
I don't see it anymore.
That's why you have to
There it's
look.
on.
Turn it up. Turn it up that time?
I do now.
Okay.
So now the next time it goes on, what I want you to do, and typically this is how I use it, I want you to squeeze the muscle and straighten your knee.
Me? Next time it comes on?
Next time it comes on. So first I let him feel it, and then I'm going to have her work with it because I'm going to recruit more motor units that way.
Very good.
So now straighten your knee. There you go. So now we see the additional motor units recruited in there. This
Up there
combination
until
is
it
going
relaxes,
to.
and then relax with it.
At least it comes on nice and slow.
Yeah, it's
That's
got
the ramp time.
It's a ramp.
You can-
It's a 2-second ramp. So for stim where you're going to use higher levels, you might want a little longer ramp. Just be cautious because that's a ramp off also. So if I take, a 3 or 4 second ramp, then my whole contraction time is ramping. It's not really getting to the peak. It's not staying a lot up for at least 6 seconds at the peak. Okay. I can I can use multiple channels, and I can do reciprocal, so I can have quads and then hamstrings. Okay. I can do a co-contraction with quads and hamstrings. Okay. So you can do a lot of different things with this, but this is the basic setup. Okay. I would just need to switch channels and go to the next channel to set up the other. Now don't lift your leg, just straighten the knee. I can also have her just isometrically contract. So I could do like the setup with the strap over, so she's just pushing into the strap, so it's isometric with a slight bend in her knee. Mm-hmm. Or the way I usually do it is have the knee straight and have it do isometric and neutral. So that's Russian. Remember, it's a burst, biphasic, medium frequency current. The purpose of it is the medium frequency is to supposedly get a little deeper and it's more comfortable. Okay, so I'm going to stop it and back, and now I'm going to set up biphasic to see if she feels a difference. Symmetrical biphasic as well. Okay, edit. I'm going to put it. Right, same kind of setup. I'm going to change the frequency to 50, so it's very similar to the, because it boots at 35. So I put it to 50 hertz. The other one was 50 bursts per second. Okay? Now I'm going to start to turn this one up. You tell me when you feel it, when you're starting to feel it. And then we want it to be strong kind of contraction.
This one is still DC current?
No,
No,
this is
it's
not
a
E. They're both
biphasic.
biphasic
Okay.
currents. So there it goes. Okay. And then we hit start. So how does this one feel compared to the other one? Can you feel a difference?
This one kind of feels less intense.
Okay. So the other one is a higher frequency, and she feels that as less intense. If I turn it up. When I turn up, I wanted to see if the intensity that you're feeling is a part of the amplitude. Does it feel any different now? Or is it still that the other one felt more intense?
I would say this one feels a little bit more like diffuse. And no, not as. I also might just be getting used to it.
Okay. So it feels a little different to her, but probably with her you could use either. It wouldn't really matter to her. Okay, so now I'm going to stop it again, and now I'm going to pick a asymmetrical biphasic. And that one should asymmetrical. It's still biphasic, but there's a little bit of a polarity to this. It will still make the muscle contract, but it should feel a little bit different to her. So we're going to hit asymmetrical biphasic. Edit. I'm going to lower this to 50 hertz so it feels the same, because this one boots in at 80. And I'm going to do the same thing. 10-10. Okay. And I'm going to start to turn this up. I'm starting to feel it.
How do you know when you're doing like
It usually is more positive. It shows you the shape of the waveform. So now tell me.
This one's more tingly.
Okay.
That's my reaction to it.
It's got a little bit more bite.
It does have more bite, yeah. Like I
That's
don't like
that-
it as much as
Yeah.
the
So that's that DC component to it. Not DC, I'm sorry. That the shift in polarity. It's not symmetrical and balanced. It's asymmetrical and imbalanced. So that means theoretically there's a little bit more charge of one left in the tissue.
Right, leaving it, okay.
Okay. So it has a different feel. There's a chemical response that happens.
that
too.
might, so that's like the chemical burn that I might be feeling.
Yeah. Is that what you're feeling? Okay, so now I want to just try the VMS, because that's another manufacturer VMS. So it's another burst waveform, but I think it's just a biphasic burst waveform. It's supposedly more comfortable. So we're just going to do straight VMS. Edit. Okay, and then we'll start to turn this one on. Exit this one.
Oh, that was sweet. Goes in much more gently. I mean, especially in, well, now it has a little bit more of a bite to it. It still has a little bit more of a bite than the Russian and the biphasic, but not as much as the asymmetrical one.
Okay, so that's VMS. And then a variable muscle stim, I'd have to look up what it is exactly, but I'm pretty sure it's just a burst biphasic kind of waveform. So it's another modification of the symmetrical balance waveform. I don't know what additional benefit it's supposed to have. The manufacturer claims it's more comfortable. You can see from, for asymmetrical, but not, but Russian seems to be ultimately what I would end up using with her because she tolerated that the best. So you can see that different people respond differently and have a different preference. This is the setup that I would expect to see for the quad. And the reason why is because the quad is a very wide muscle. I'm trying to pull up and get all aspects of it, especially that oblique VMO, because that's the one that you see that atrophy in first, furthest, and that is the one that helps to control the patella when it moves up and kind of leaves the groove and keeps it from deviating laterally. So a lot of times people have knee surgery. They may have knee surgery for something else, and then all of a sudden they develop patella pain, and that might be why. So this is kind of helps to prevent that atrophy or strengthen it if it's already occurred. Okay, so if I say I want a quad setup, this is what I'm looking for. Okay. Any questions on the Russian? For each machine, again, it's slightly different. On the machine here, I'm going to show you this one because this one is a little bit more complicated and how to find stuff. So on this machine, it doesn't say Russian, it says medium frequency. Please don't be confused. If I put in a practical station, I want Russian, I want medium frequency, it's the same thing. So you hit stimulation, medium frequency, continuous, you want to surge it. You hit surge, and now I can look at time. If I hit surge again, this is going to go on 5 seconds, off 5 seconds. 10 seconds on, 10 seconds off. 10 seconds on, 30 seconds off. 10 seconds on, 50 seconds off. You need to remember to do that. Otherwise, it's just going to be on continuously. And then you put in your time and turn it up. So you get the contraction you're looking for. Okay, so that's on this machine. You have to hit surge to get the times. On this machine, this one is fairly straightforward, I believe. So you just hit the button that says Biphasic Russian, hit it twice to get to Russian. Then you want normal, you can do co-contraction or reciprocal on this. So you can use 2 channels, and if you hit co-contraction, it will make both channels go on at the same time. If you hit reciprocal, it will let one go on, and when it goes off, the other will go on and go off. Okay? Again, hit the time, 10:10, 10:30, 10:50, continuous or custom. I more than likely am not going to do custom. Let's just say I'm not going to do custom. So you're going to pick one of those, and I'll tell you which one I want. Usually I do 10:10 so I can see it go on and off. And then your ramp, 0.5, 1.0, 1.5, 2.0. I usually go around 1, actually. Okay, the time, and then I start to turn it up. That's it. Very straightforward on this machine. That's the booger over there. So make sure you practice on that one.
You only want to use one channel on that one? What did you say?
You can change channels over here, so you can put in multiple channels.
But if you only want to use one, you use channel 1.
It lights up, yeah, it will light up channel 1, but if you're on a different channel, maybe things have to be plugged in for that.
I think we tried the other day to change the channels and we couldn't.
Okay. It should, though. There may be something wrong with the machine why it's not changing channels. Maybe it needs to be set up on one and then it lets you change it. Because I've had students do it. I've actually had students set up 2 different people on the stim and 2 channels. So maybe it has to be that you set it up, hit start, and then you can change a channel and set up a second person. So try that.
Okay.
I think that's what must have to happen. You have to set up somebody, hit start, and then hit channel and move it to another channel. Okay? And then you can set that one up. Okay, so that would be how you would do that, because you should be able to do multiple channels. Okay, so play with the